Hey, everybody. Week 12 recap. Um, so, week 12 was pretty interesting in the sense that all of the teams with better records beat the teams they were playing who had lesser records, except for one game, which was Michael's Minions beating Mask Aversion. And what that means is for the playoff standings and everything, we had some real uh, definition now come to the playoff picture based on what happened last week. As Mr. Harding said to me this week, this is probably the least drama we will see in the last week of the regular season in this league for a long time because there's not as much at stake as there usually is. So just to give you the quick rundown on the scores, high score winner again, we won Ivanka with no help from Taysom Hill this time. So kudos to Ivanka. 116 to 69 over Giuliani and Powell. 2 straight weeks now with We Want Ivanka, who has really rocketed up the standings and also up in points scored, and is now 8-4 and secured their playoff spot. Tyreek Hill, I mean, good lord, 44 points. He had 200 yards receiving in the first quarter of that game, and then Deshaun Watson with 40. So enough said. Just those two guys alone gave him plenty. Fear the Wax whooped up on Leroy Stop Barking, 109 to 74. Ho hum game for Fear the Wax. Derrick Henry and Antonio Gibson, 66 points between the two of them. I thought I had a good start with 13 from Duke Johnson. Well, yeah, that was really, nothing much to speak of. So Fear the Wax, 109-74. I'm going to just give you the other games kind of quickly. Rolling with Mahomes with a big win over Team Smack, 98-42. The other theme with Week 12 is that the games were very one-sided. Really, there wasn't one really close competitive game. Mahomes with 38, Chubb with 23, Justin Jefferson 19. All she needed. Let's see, the game I told you about before, Michael's Minions beat Mask Aversion in a really big game, 93-77. Will Fuller, pre-PED suspension, with 29 to lead the way for the Minions. And let's see, Gunning for You, 91-64 over Catalina Wine Mixon. Tom Brady, what's his name, James Robinson. Young Wei Koo with 19, as Mark LaPena pointed out to me. Man, he got crushed by Gunning's kickers. I think they played twice this year, and Gunning's kicker, 35 points in the two games. That's kind of unbelievable. And the game, the lamest game of the week, Sleepy Joe's medical staff beating More Than a Thielen 65-48. Not much to speak of in that game other than the fact that it was a win for Sleepy Joe. So before I forget, I did extend the trade deadline to Wednesday, the December 9th at noon. I hadn't given a warning about that, and I know people, if they don't get a warning, they get a little up in arms about it. So trade deadline ends then. Waiver wire will stay open through the playoffs, but remember, if you're not in the playoffs, you can't make waiver wire moves. You can't drop guys or do anything like that. So if you look at the standings real quick, the teams that are in, Fear the Wax is in, Sleepy Joe's medical staff is in, We Want Ivanka is in. Those are guaranteed. They all have 8 wins. They're all in. Fear the Wax has already, they're ahead by 170 points in points scored, so they're going to be the 1 seed. No question about it. Sleepy Joe, We Want Ivanka, if they both win, they'll go in as 3 and 4 seeds. And then there are 3 teams that are 7 and 5. If those 3 teams win this week, they're in. Or if Michael's Minions loses this week, those 3 teams get in. Those 3 teams being Gunning for You, Mask Aversion, Rolling with Mahomes. If Michael's Minions wins and any one or all of those 7 and 5 teams lose, Michael's Minions could get in. Now, having said that, he is behind Mask Aversion by 29 points. He's behind Rolling with Mahomes by 12, and behind Gunning for You by 23. So even with a win, he would need to outscore one of those teams by a decent margin to get in, because of course it'll come down to points scored. As far as the division winner in the Fauci division, Mask Aversion is 7 and 5, along with Rolling with Mahomes. Mask Aversion is ahead in points scored by, where are we? 17. So still very much up in the air. If they both win and Rolling with Mahomes outscores Mass Conversion by 17 or more, and I don't remember what the second tiebreaker is. There is another tiebreaker ESPN has set up. If anyone needs me to look that up, I can do it. But bottom line is that division is still kind of up for grabs. Or if one wins and the other loses, then obviously the winner would get in. If they both lose, it's conceivable that Michael's Minions could end up winning that division at 7-6. So there is still some drama to be played out in Week 13, just not as much as usual. For the other teams, Giuliani and Powell LLC, Leroy, Catalina Wine Mixin, More Than a Thielen, Team Smack, it's wait till next year. And Week 13 is your opportunity to be a spoiler. So that's it. I will see you later on with the picks. Obviously no game tonight, so I'll have the picks before Sunday.